It's Thursday, and that means we are back in nutrition educator Lynn Matava's kitchen. Today, Lynn shows us a fun pork chop recipe with a twist. Check it out.
Are you not sure what to make for dinner tonight? I've got a great recipe for your family that is full of flavor. So what we're going to do is we're going to make these pork chops with red cabbage and pears. And we're going to start with our pork chops. You can trim off any excess fat. These had the bone in. You can do this with either. It's really just what you're able to find right now in the stores. And what I've done with these is I have sprinkled them with just a little bit of dried sage and dried thyme. Now this recipe comes directly to us from the Eat Smart, University of Maryland Eat Smart blog. And a lot of times I cook with fresh herbs, but this is one of those recipes where the dried really are delicious in it. And so it's something you can make year round, especially if you don't have these things growing in your garden like I do. But I've sprinkled them with a little bit of thyme, a little bit of dried sage. We're gonna put just a little bit of salt and then just a little bit of pepper. Flip them so we can get both sides. And then I've already got some that have been over here cooking for a few minutes. So I just put them in a pan. They've been in here for about 6 to 8 minutes, I'd say. I flipped them over halfway through. They're getting nice and brown. I'm actually going to turn down that heat just a little and pull them out of the pan now. And kind of set them aside while I prepare the rest of the recipe. So what we're gonna do, we've got this, I've got some apple cider vinegar. I've got a little bit of dark brown or light brown sugar, whichever one you'd prefer to use. It's 2 tablespoons in this case to a 1/4 cup of vinegar. Just gonna stir them together, and I'm gonna put a pinch of that sage in there because we're gonna use that as we finish the dish off. And so I've got that, and I'm setting it aside. And now we're gonna add to the skillet a couple. Oh, I've got meat in there still cooking. Look at that. I heard it and didn't see it. I am going to put just a little bit of that vinegar in the pan to kind of get some of those bits that are in there. Kind of off and out of the way before the cabbage goes in. That's the little brown bits that came from the meat. They're delicious. We're going to push them off to the side. And now I'm putting my cabbage in the pan. And we've got about 6 cups here of chopped red cabbage. And then we're going to add to that a red onion. I've got one here already peeled and just about ready to go. And I'm kind of doing it in big pieces. They don't have to be extra tiny. They're going to kind of melt down as it cooks with the cabbage. Scoop those in there. And these you're going to cook for about, this whole mix for about 3 or 4 minutes as it starts to cook down some. If you've overloaded your skillet like me, it's going everywhere. Hopefully you haven't. So this cabbage is cooked down, and what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in the remaining vinegar mixture I have here that I made. Really starting to simmer. And this would continue to cook for about 3 or 4 minutes. And then what we're supposed to add to this is chopped pears. And I did not have pears today, so what I did is I chopped up an apple. So we got a couple apples in here, and I'm going to add them to this mix. And kind of stir them all around. It really goes nice to have just a little bit of sweet in there with the acid of the vinegar, and then that really complements it well. Just look at how pretty that cabbage is. Cabbage is such a healthy food choice. It is something that is low in calories. It's very high in fiber, lots of vitamins and minerals. We have those anthocyanins, which are those blue-purple antioxidants, which are thought to really help aging and protect our cells. And they're just chock full of all kinds of goodness. And you can see how bright and pretty that all is. And then Now, if these were a little slightly smaller pork chops, in fact, what I'm going to do, since I'm mixing them back in now, I'm going to kind of chop these in half so they fit into the pan better. And then, again. And really, that's it. Not an incredibly difficult recipe. It is so full of flavor. It's so full of color. It's pretty low in carbs. It's got a little bit of sugar added to it, but it's just really a great meal to throw together kind of on the fly. And again, it's just so pretty. So I really think you're gonna love this one.